Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chitlins of all ages, welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And I'm your host, the one and only, the often imitated, never duplicated, backyard superstar Tim Vicious. And this is actually a very special Vicious Rants. And that is because this one's celebrating the 1 year anniversary of doing all this. This coming Thursday, the 17th, is officially year one when I did the very first video. Hope y'all all go back and watch that. But want to say thanks to all of you who've watched any of these episodes. You know, really appreciate all of y'all taking the time to listen and hear me bitch and whine and complain and say what I thought was good, what I thought was bad. You know, it really means a lot. Now, on with the show, now that I'm done having my little tearjerker moment. Raw was actually pretty good. They started out with Shawn Michaels coming out, talking about on how he thanked everyone for voting for him last week on the app, which, surprisingly, that's the only time they really mentioned the app during the course of Raw, so there was no app raping. I repeat, no app rape. Now, I personally would have liked to have seen Bob Backlund be the referee for the match, but next thing you know, Randy Orton comes out and he's talking about on how his career is better than Shawn's, because, well, we all know Randy Orton was the first ever Grand Slam champion in professional wrestling. Wait, no, that was Shawn. Well, we all know Randy wound up, you know, being put into the Hall of Fame. Wait, no, that's Shawn also. Oh, well, we definitely know that Randy Orton wound up being in the first ever Hell in a Cell match, and, you know, showed on how Hell in a Cell matches were supposed to be, and set the bar for on how those matches are supposed to be in that era. Wait, that was Shawn also. What am I thinking? You know, because heaven forbid somebody that's in their mid-20s to the early 30s would wind up remembering anything along those lines. Anyways, I really was I wound up starting to get dozed out when Randy was speaking. I swear he just naturally secretes Valium to make you sleep when he talks. Randy's just flat out boring on the mic. Please stop having him do that. Please stop having him work the mic. Give somebody to work the mic for him. Give him a valet or a manager. I would say make Randy a Paul Heyman guy, but I don't want to see Paul get put into that kind of a pile. I don't want to see Paul have to deal with that kind of shit. Anyways, that segment ended with Randy trying to go for an RKO on Shawn. Shawn countered and was about to go for a super kick when Randy ducked out of the ring, and then Miz wound up hitting him, which led to a commercial break. And then they came back with the match. Already knowing how this match is going to go. And the only good... surprisingly, though, the way on how the match ended, which, by the way, if you can't tell by the way I'm talking, Randy won the match. The only way that the big surprising part on the match was when, right as Miz was about to do his god-awful attempt on the figure four, and yes, I say this, and especially with the fact on saying, my 4-year-old son can do a better figure four than the Miz. Now, I want you to think on that for a minute. He's 4, and he does one better. Yeah. Just as Miz was about to do that, Wyatt's come out. And Wyatts are all sitting up at the apron, just, watching over him. Next thing you know, Miz turns around, Randy, boom, RKO, 1, 2, 3. Bray winds up grabbing a mic saying, Miz, you're everything I dislike in this world. You are the idea of $500 suits, red carpets, high-end spotlights, the high life, all that. I'm against it too. I don't like that kind of idea. But anyways, next match of the night, it was Santino versus Fan. Summer Rae was wearing a dress that showed almost her ass, or Fan. He's finally color coordinated because he's wearing pink and black versus Santino. Anyways, it was actually one of the best short matches I've seen in a while. You know, and this is just me talking, but yeah, that was one of the best short matches I have seen in a long time. Now, with the match, on how that ended, Santino was about to go for the Cobra when Fan, So You Think You Can Dance, ducked, and the Cobra, and he was about to hit Summer Rae, pulled back, and Fan Strudelhopper wound up doing a roll-up, quick 1, 2, 3, got the win, and then walked away. And you just see Santino like, personally, I would have liked seeing him do son of a gun, because that's pretty much the only thing I find cool about with the comedy gimmick, and we all know how I feel about comedy gimmicks. Next match was 3MB versus Primo and Epico. I mean, Los Matadors. Not going to go into detail on that. Know on how that's going to go. So, next match up after that was Ryback going up against R-Truth in a Beat the Clock challenge. I'm not going to go into detail on why the Beat the Clock challenge is made, but I'll give you the nitty gritty. Ryback has a Beat the Clock challenge to where if he wins, he gets to pick the stipulation against Punk at Hell in a Cell, and if Punk wins, Punk gets to pick the stipulation. It was a good match, and I thought it was good considering that R-Truth showed a lot of good offense in it, and I actually like seeing that. Even if you're not going to do a squash, and I'm not saying this was a squash match or a jobber match, but you know, even if you're going to do one of those kind of matches where you automatically know the top tier guy is going up against the low level guy, and you know the top tier guy is going to win, have the low level guy show offense, show good offense in it, because that's what makes the match, not just the low level guy getting on them and beating them up right off bat, and then right out of nowhere the top tier guy, you know, getting the second win, and then scoring the win. No, that's just ludicrous to think, you know. Anyways, Ryback got the win. I think the time was 5 something. It was. Hold on 1 second. It was, come on. There we go. And it was, yeah, 5:44. 5 minutes, 44 seconds. Okay. So, Punk had to beat that time. I'll get to that later on in the show. Next match they had was the Real Americans versus Brodus and Tensai. Now, there were only 3 good parts of the match, and honestly, all of them came from Cesaro. Now, what it was, first one was Cesaro doing that over-the-shoulder deadlift he did to Tensai, because that's 350 plus pounds of just doing a solid deadlift on. Another one came when Cesaro wound up hitting the neutralizer on Brodus, because again, that's solid dead weight you're picking up. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's because Cesaro is pound for pound. I'm not saying he's the biggest guy, but he's definitely got to be the strongest in WWE right now. And, you know, I swear, if Chris Masters was there, you could do like a fantasy booking where you have Antonio Cesaro and Chris Masters there, and you can have them be like a bodybuilding group, like a bodybuilding tag team or a stable, and have it be where, you know, they're because they actually have the muscle and aren't like your bodybuilder, and not like bodybuilder muscles where they're all big and huge like but can't lift heavy things. No, these guys know what they're doing. You could do something like that if Masters was still around, but like I said, that's fantasy booking. I'm not going to go into more detail than that. Moving on. The third cool part in that was when Cesaro did the swing, because he never looks dizzy when he does that, and that's just freaking awesome. Next match was the Bella that didn't get the boob job versus Tamina Snuka, and I swear that should be more considered a intergender match, because I swear Tamina is a dude. I really swear she is. She's just pre-op. She didn't go down to TJ and get that surgery yet. As far as the match itself, I really don't know. I saw that as a bathroom break match, and honestly, I was there the whole time right up until Tamina got the pin. I saw her get the pin, and then AJ came in and put in the Black Widow. That's all I saw in the match. Moving on, next match after that was Punk versus Axel, and that was his Beat the Clock challenge. It was a pretty good match, gotta say, and for all those wondering, when Curtis Axel is doing his walking down to the ring pose, the boom! No, he's actually ripping the breast cancer out of the WWE. That's what it is. But, anyways, when he came, it was a pretty decent match. The only thing that really kind of got me confused in it was when Axel wound up doing the swinging neck breaker, Cole wound up saying, signature move just like his father, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I don't ever remember Mr. Perfect ever doing a swinging neck breaker as a signature. And I'm not saying it was or that Cole was right or wrong. I'm just asking if any of y'all are watching this and you remember Mr. Perfect doing a swinging neck breaker as a signature, by all means, please let me know. But if Cole was wrong, feel free to blast him on that. Let me know, because I'd like to blast him for it too. Anyways, Punk got the win, and it was with 10 seconds left to spare. I thought it was going to wind up being closer to where it was going to be like at 5 seconds or literally right at 1. But, either way, knew that was going to happen. Can't have both Paul Heyman guys win on the same night. But Punk grabbed the mic, said, "Hey Paul, see, I learned from the evil genius. So you're going to get a handicap match. That's going to be it's going to be CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman in a Hell in a Cell match." Now, if they play that right, it could be good. And it could probably be one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in the PG times. Because a good example on how you would want to have this Hell in a Cell match be, have it be set up like on how Triple H and Undertaker at Mania was 2 years ago. At WrestleMania 28. Have it be like that. Because that was a really good Hell in a Cell match. Now, if they do something like that at this one, it can work. It can sell. And I feel that would be the best way to do it. Anyways, next matchup they had was Del Rio versus Daniel Bryan. And of course Del Rio won, and the reason on why he won is... Hold on. I have to swallow my pride for a minute, because what I'm going to say is going to be something I am completely against. He's going to be having a match at Cena for the World Heavyweight Championship, and in all honesty, I really hope Cena wins. Not because of who he is, mind you. I'm saying that now, so please don't kill me. It's because I want to exploit his credibility and his main event and top tier status to make the World Heavyweight Championship credible again. I'm still not rooting for him. I want him to make that title credible again. That's what it is. Because I'm a firm believer in the man makes the title. And when Edge was World Heavyweight Champion, he made that title worth something. And ever since Edge had to forfeit, or not forfeit, but retire, you know, I feel that they've had guys try to make the title worth something, but they've just been given such a bad time and bad dealings and bad bookings along the way, so they couldn't. You know, that's what it was. Anyways, Brian lost, Del Rio won, and I was actually surprised Del Rio won, because you figured Brian was going to wind up winning, because, you know, they're going to have Brian build up, you know, get a good build into the pay-per-view, but he didn't, you know. So chances are we're probably going to wind up seeing Brian lose at the pay-per-view if they're going to start out like this. But anyways, moving on. Last match of the night, it was Cody Rhodes and his big brother Goldust going up against Seth Rollins and Roman for the tag titles, and they wound up pulling out. Hunter and Steph pulled a rabbit out of their ass right out of nowhere and said, "This is now a no disqualification match." So I was thinking, okay, cool, we're going to see some serious fighting now. No, not necessarily, but it was kind of confusing because, and real quick, I just want to say, just stupid Mark, if you're watching this, and I really hope you are, I know a while back we brought up, if you look back, you haven't really seen a match where guys were holding the tag ropes to get tagged in. I was paying attention to that, and I've been since you brought that up. Goldust and Roman Reigns were both holding the rope when Goldust got the hot tag in on this match. Alright? So I'm just letting you know, this is the first time in God knows how long I've seen that. But that actually is kind of coincides with what I was about to complain on. Big part I was confused and complaining on with this match. It's no disqualification. Why are you having it to where you have to have a legal man in the ring? And even yet, why are you worrying about making tags? If me and my tag team partner are both in the ring, where's the problem with that? Because honestly, what are you going to do? Disqualify us? You can't disqualify us if it's a no disqualification match. And also, why did you only have Ambrose interfere twice? You should have had it be like wolves and jumping in for the kill. But anyways, it was a good match. It was a lot of good offense and defense from both sides. It was a good back and forth match. I really liked it. And just as you were about to see the Shield go and get ready to go in for the kill, right out of nowhere, Big Show comes out through the crowd, which, thank God, because honestly, if they'd have had him come from the ramp, that really would have killed the whole he was fired thing. You know, he came out, took out Ambrose, wound up taking out Rollins. Roman's looking at him like, all right, come on. Wound up decking him with a KO punch, and Cody wound up going on top of him for the pin. 1, 2, 3. We got new tag champs. That is really cool. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, wait, Cody and Goldust got a tag title shot, but the Usos are #1 contenders. Well, you know what? Cody and Goldust are also a more credible tag team than the Usos. I don't give a shit about your wrestling family and your wrestling history, what lineage you come from. Yeah, I know I talk about the Rhodes lineage, and I talk about the Von Erichs lineage and such. But here's the thing. That lineage is also tied in with the fact that they moved up the ladder. What is it that the Usos have done? They spent a majority of their career jobbing, and now they're finally getting a push. No. They spent so much time being jobbers and being dealt so much shit now. I can't see them as a credible tag team. And I know all you Uso fans out there are going to be like, oh, well, yeah, that's your opinion, or, oh, I don't like you now for that. Well, you know what? You don't like it? Too bad. Turn it off. And anyways, the best, it was a good main event on Raw when you have somebody on commentary yell, "Where's security?" because Big Show was standing out there. And honestly, I was thinking that. Why not try and have a few, even if you got a couple of the indie guys and say they were security. A couple of the local indie wrestlers come out and say they're security. Have Big Show look like he's fighting them off and say, why can't we get more out here? I think that would have been good. But all in all, Raw was actually good. First time in a long time, I'm giving it a good score. I say 7.5 out of 10. So, that's all the time for this video. Again, thank you for putting up with all of my bitching, my rants, my complaints, my grunts and groans for a good solid year straight. So don't forget to like this video, go back, watch all the other videos, and especially the 1 year video on the 17th, because it's the 1 year, you should, celebrate the birthday. And by the way, I will accept all forms of birthday celebrations and thank yous, way to goes, and if you're an attractive female, full frontal nudity. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave all interesting, creative questions, complaints, concerns, grunts, and groans right on down below. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Look for my backup account because Twitter tends to throw me in Twitter jail every now and again. Tim_Vicious. Look for Axel Mulligan on Twitter. He does blogs on Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, NXT. The man is by far one of the most educated fans I can say I've had the courtesy of talking to, and I consider that a great privilege on my part. Also, don't forget to check out all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. My brother from another mother, James Steele, JX2001, that Roxy girl, _it's V bitch. James, Roxy, and Vicky all got their own YouTube channels. Make sure y'all check them out. I am Danny Sunday, next big thing in wrestling, and I've put this out there on Twitter a couple times already. Me, James, Danny, we are the equivalent of Nash, Hall, and Pac as the Wolfpack. So, just saying. Monkey Morris, Helen Robinson 82, Meow_Cakes, Jerry Soriano, Team Custom Made, Cranky Asshole, Stacy Impact W Fan. Stace, I hope you got a chance to see the match. I know you don't like WWE, but I know you like Dustin. So I hope you got to see it. Legion Lady Aaron, Legion of Nerds. And, like I said before, I got a lot of cool-ass people that I wish I could mention all, but I can't. So look for me on Twitter. Follow all of them. A lot of cool, badass folks on there. And if you love me, great. You hate me. This for 1 year coming. Fuck yous!